welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to talk about whether it's necessary to have an office as an advocate while starting out. There are few advocates who have reached out asking me about this question. Even I saw some senior advocate talking about in LinkedIn about whether have an office, basically an office, or let's say a big office, plays a big role for an advocate, especially when you're still starting out. So based on my own experience, first there's some things you need to ask yourself. Do you have the capital to start that office? Because of course, if you don't have the capital at the time you're starting out, then the answer is obvious. You don't have, for me, basically for me, I feel it's not, you don't have to have an office while starting out, but don't also be so comfortable. So at least ensure you have plans in place to get an office. Because there, like for instance, so if you don't have the capital, I don't think there's a need for you to get an office. Let it not be a reason for you not to start out, because there are many. For me, when starting out, by the way, I didn't have an office, but I think for me I had an advantage because my former, where I was doing my holding over, the advocate there allowed me to use his office. So there I can say I had an advantage. But I also know of advocates, for them they didn't, because there are some, especially if you start out with criminal matters coming on record, you don't have to file in any application. You just come on record orally. Like a lot of things are being done orally. So having an office is not actually mandatory, in my own opinion. And then because of Corona, a lot of things have gone virtual. So there's no need for, but then it doesn't mean if you don't have an office you're not going to, it's going to affect you. It's not. So the second main thing, also the other thing you should ask yourself is, do you have clients? There's even, as I was saying, there's an advocate who had reached out. That's the first question I asked him when he was talking about getting an office. I asked him, do you have clients? Then he was like, no, but actually right now I don't have any clients. Then I told him, if you don't have clients, then there's no need for you to open an office. You know, sometimes even by the time, I even thought the reason he was rushing to want to get an office is because, you know, there are those clients, you've gotten good clients who pay even return, or that's pay good, they give you good briefs that give you good money. So they want to see, you know, of course, by the time someone is spending a lot of money on something, they want to come and see where you are located, where your office is. They come and meet you. So I thought it was such a scenario where now you've been hustling until you've gotten big clients, but no. So I even asked her, can you open a shop without it? Maybe you want to sell, let's say, TVs. Can you open, even that's the question I asked him, like, can you open a shop if you don't have the TVs to sell? You know, it's kind of impossible. So that's another thing you should ask yourself. If you don't have clients who will help you in paying that office, I think you'll be overstraining yourself. In my own opinion, the first thing you should focus on is getting the clients, especially if you don't have the capital at the beginning. Don't focus on getting the capital, because if you focus on getting the capital, remember, that may take a lot of time, especially if you know the circumstance you're in. If you're let's say if you're unemployed, or you have just been admitted, at that period during holding offers, we all know as advocates, you're not paid that well. So what I would advise, focus on first getting the clients. After getting the clients and you have a few files that can bring in good income, then well and good, now you can get an office space. And as I was also stating, there are many office spaces where it's shared. So they give you everything, the table, the cabinet, the chairs and everything. There's a boardroom, there's a reception that is shared. So you can start there. You start small as you go on. I think so. Basically, in my opinion, having an office at the beginning is not as very important. Like, let not be a reason why you haven't started out. Like, don't use that as an excuse for, maybe if you want to start your own law firm, don't use that as an excuse. I really hope, because even from my own experience, of course, our offices are not big, are not prestigious. May have been in a situation where, even I was talking with my fellow colleagues, they have the same thing. Of course, at the stage where we are, our offices are not prestigious, where you have very big boardrooms. You have, like, the reception is so big, and it's so, like, you know, when you get in, you feel it's still like we're still growing. So sometimes also may have been a situation where a client comes in, like, I'm supposed to meet a client. No, this is a big client. So I'm like, oh my God, will they feel that what they're paying me is not worth my office? You know, you have that thing where you're like, but I came to realize it's about you making your client comfortable. Never be, because If your client feels comfortable with you handling their matters, trust me, it doesn't matter whether you're a briefcase lawyer, because what the client wants is to feel they can trust you and they believe in you and they have confidence in you that you'll handle their case well. Because I've been in those, true story, like this is what has happened severally by the, and even I remember, like, I find myself being nervous. I'm like, oh my god, they've given me a big brief, so will they feel confident in me? Trust me, it's about you. It's really about you, because you don't want to live beyond your means. Because also now you know you can't start, as much as the appearance of your office matters. Don't go, it doesn't mean go beyond your means, go beyond what you can afford. Start with, basically this video is basically telling someone who wants to start their farm, start where you are. Start where you are with what you have. And especially currently, we do, mentions are virtual, though now physical courts are coming in, but mentions are, which is, remember, even though physical courts have come in, you'll find most clients, they're even busy. Me, I was even telling that advocate, the way, especially if you are dealing, especially for us who are dealing, me who's dealing with mostly conveyancing matters, the client is at work, is busy. By the number of times we meet, it's so rare. We only communicate via email. I have to, if it's a document to be signed, I have to send my clerk or a rider to take the document to sign. Like, even you'll find most of these clients won't have that time of coming to your office. Others will prefer you going to them. So I think my point here is, an office is not as important as you may think. Of course, there's exceptions. There are young advocates who have already gotten these big prestigious offices. But remember, people are different. You can't compare yourself with someone else. You never know, maybe that person, the parents came in for them, or maybe for them they were lucky, they have gotten big briefs. Then you can start comparing yourselves with such. You start with what you have, where you are at. Because another option also, you can you share offices. You can get and share offices with other advocates. So I really hope this video has been helpful for someone. I just felt I need to share because I've gotten a lot of people reaching out asking about the office thing. So I really hope this has really helped someone. And also, thank you so much for watching. And I would like to request you, if you haven't followed us yet, please follow our Instagram page, Lawyers Helping Each Other 2020, and also my blog, which is here on the screen. There's a segment by there I'm introducing, a new segment whereby I'll be talking about startups, law firm startups. I'll be bringing advocates who have started. I'll be asking them 12 standard questions. There'll be 12 questions for law firm startups, and it will begin this. I'm beginning it this week, but it's something I should have started a long time ago, but life happened. Like, I've been busy with office work, so I really hope. So if you're interested, it's something that you'd want to know, because I'll be asking people who have started their own firms some questions, standard questions that can guide anyone who wants to start. You know, like, you know, it will help, considering these questions people have. I think having this segment will help everyone, because people have different, like, my story will be different from another person who has started a law firm, another person. So I think sharing this will help anyone who is thinking of doing the same. So make sure you tune in. It should be on my blog. I remember I'd done a poll on Instagram. A lot of people preferred video, but through my own interaction with advocates, I would prefer to bring to my, like, to share their journey. Most people, they're not on that stage where they're comfortable to share their office space, because, you know, young advocates starting out, most of them, like, your office space, maybe you're still co-sharing, so the video thing, I think it didn't work. I think it's not going to be possible for now. So we'll start, since I have the blog, I'll be sharing it in my blog. So every Friday, tune in for law firm startups. I start this week. I think it will be fair. So I've shared mostly my journey, but I think it will be fair if I start with mine. So I'll start with mine, and then every Friday I'll be bringing in different advocates. So for advocates who won't mind to be featured, because once I'm reaching out to my friends, but if you are an advocate who maybe follows my channel or follows me, and you have your own law firm and you wouldn't mind sharing, please feel free to reach out. I've left the contacts here on the screen. Feel free to reach out so that you can share your journey. Disclaimer: if you want to remain anonymous, you don't want to, it's still okay. I've reached out. There's some advocates who want to remain anonymous, but we need that. But the important thing is how their journey started. Not, you know, people, I understand people are not the same. Not everyone is okay with openly sharing their journey. So if you remember also, that's another disclaimer, if you want to remain anonymous, you will. So I hope this video has been helpful. See you on my next video.